What fruit looks like a football and is used to make a drink of the gods? Join us to find out on this week's Snackisode. I'm Professor Megan.
I'm Professor Susan, and we're
your nutrition profs. We are registered dietitians and college professors who have taught more than 10,000 students about health and nutrition. We have answered a lot of questions about nutrition over the years.
Some questions we get asked every year, and some are rarely asked, but very interesting.
We are here to share our answers to these common and uncommon nutrition questions with you.
So bring your curiosity and let's get started. Welcome to our class. Welcome, everyone. On this Snackisode episode, we're telling you all about a fruit from the Sapotaceae family. That's really hard to say.
Yes, it is.
Sapotaceae family. It goes by many different names. In Latin America, they call it zapote or zapote grande. In the Philippines, chichi mamey. In Mexico, Mamey Sapote. And it's also called the red mamey, zapote colorado, or just mamey. Today, we're going to use Mamey Sapote.
It's a large brown fruit that looks like a small football. The skin is a little bit rough, a little like sandpaper, and the color is brown, and it smells a little bit like squash.
It looks like a melon where the flesh surrounds a chamber that contains seeds. The flesh is an orangey red, almost salmon color, and is soft, creamy, and dense, kind of like the texture of ripe cantaloupe.
This fruit is native to Mexico, the Caribbean, and Central and South America. It grows on slow-growing trees that can reach over 100 feet in height. The fruits also grow slowly, taking 1 to 2 years to mature and ripen.
Gosh, 1 to 2 years? That's a long time to wait for a piece of fruit.
Yeah, agree.
It's thought to have been a food source for thousands of years and was used for both food and medicine by the Mayans and the Aztecs. It's one of the few fruits that is considered pre-Hispanic that is still widely consumed. Pre-Hispanic means before the arrival of the Spanish, and they came in the 15th century. In fact, legend has it that the fruits were the primary food source for the Spanish conquistador Hernan Cortez and his army in 1519 as they traveled from Mexico City to Honduras. That's over 700 miles. With the help of a smallpox epidemic and a small army, Cortez was able to conquer the Aztecs and bring Mexico under Spanish rule.
It was introduced in the U.S. into Florida around 1887, possibly brought up from Cuba. It's still grown there and also in Hawaii and Puerto Rico.
It's a really hardy fruit, and it has few insect predators, probably because of its thick, rough skin. That means you don't need to use so many pesticides.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, that is good.
So let's talk about nutrition. What nutrients does this fruit contain?
Well, like most whole fruits and vegetables, it's high in fiber. So 1 cup has 9.5 grams. That's about 25% of the recommended daily fiber for men and about 33% for women. For the micronutrients, it's an excellent source of several vitamins and minerals, including vitamin B6, vitamin C, vitamin E, and copper.
And if something is called an excellent source of something, it means it has over 20% of the recommended daily intake in just one serving. Good source means it has over 10%. Just a little nutrition vocab for all of you.
We can't stop being professors.
Exactly.
And Mamey Sapote is a good source of several other micronutrients, including potassium, vitamin B2 or riboflavin, vitamin B3 or niacin, and manganese.
Sounds pretty nutrient dense.
It is nutrient dense. It also has a little bit of protein.
Oh, nice. Well, because of its nutrient content, especially the fiber and antioxidants like vitamin C and E, the fruit may have several health benefits, including heart, skin, immune function, and gastrointestinal health. It may also help red blood cell production.
Really? Mm-hmm. Interesting. The flavor also sounds really good. It's supposed to be complex, a little bit sweet and a little bit savory, with subtle notes of vanilla, nutmeg, and apricots. It's been described as tasting like root beer mixed with honeyed pumpkin, squash, and sweet potato nuances.
Wow, that does sound complex and delicious.
Mm-hmm. Someone else described the taste as brown sugar-covered sweet potato with notes of pumpkin, caramel, and cantaloupe. Can't wait to try
Me
it.
either. So the fruit is often eaten fresh or used in desserts and smoothies, but because of its flavor profile of squash and sweet potato, it's also roasted and can be used in savory dishes. The flesh can be scooped out and frozen for several months, and in areas of the U.S. with large Caribbean populations, you can usually find it frozen at some grocery stores.
It sounds like a really versatile fruit. In my research, I found that it's used in several types of dishes. It's used to make a traditional Cuban milkshake called Petito de Mamey. I hope I said that right. Mm-hmm. It can replace bananas in muffins and quick breads. It can be used in custardy desserts like flan or bread pudding. And it's used to make salad dressings or sauces for roasted and grilled food. They also say it can be used as a meat substitute in vegan cooking.
Wow. That's really interesting. But are there any reasons maybe someone should not eat it?
I couldn't find any reasons not to eat it, but it is expensive, at least in the U.S. So if you have a tight pocketbook, it may not be the thing to buy. But you do have to be careful with the seeds. They contain cyanide, so they should not be eaten raw.
Isn't that like a lot of other fruits?
Yeah. The seeds of stone fruits like peaches, plums, apricots, pears, prunes, and cherries also contain cyanide in the form of cyanogenic glycoside, and they should not be consumed, at least not in large amounts.
The seeds of the Mamey Sapote are really interesting. They're large and elliptical shaped. And each fruit contains 1 to 4 of these seeds. I read that in Mexico, the seeds are soaked and treated to remove the toxins, and then they can be used in cooking.
I read that too. The treated seeds are called pixtle, Pixtle. I really hope I'm saying that right. And that supposedly means seed or bone. And they're used in several popular dishes. They make enchiladas de pixtle, where they combine it with blackberries to make kind of a sweet and savory enchilada. And they also make pix tamales, where they grind it into a paste and use it as tamale filling. These are often served during Dia de los Muertos.
This treatment of the seeds to remove toxins has thought to have been done for thousands of years. Aztec rulers used them to make an ancient beverage called tajate, which was consumed by Aztec rulers and called the drink of the gods. Its ingredients include corn, cacao beans, rosite de cacao, and Mamey Sapote seeds. But it's pretty challenging to prepare. Most have secret recipes that are sold in local markets and served at festivals and fairs.
That is really, really cool. I'd really love to try it.
Well, we're about to. Unfortunately, we don't have the tajate, but we do have some Mamey Sapote to try. We're going to taste it fresh, and we're also going to taste it roasted.
Yes. We sliced our fruit in half the long way, and we removed the seeds. Well, ours only had 1 seed.
But it was quite large.
It was large. It was about the length of my longest finger. Mm-hmm. And what do you think? An inch in diameter?
Maybe a little bit more.
Yeah. I mean, it was a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be. Actually, we're going to post a picture in our show notes.
Yeah, we'll have pictures.
Yeah, please forgive our amateur
photography skills.
So after we cut it in half, we diced up its red to salmon colored flesh, and we're going to try it. So this is the fresh.
Yeah, it is pretty soft.
It is. It's soft. It's dense.
It doesn't smell like anything.
Mm-mm.
All right, I'm going in.
Do it.
Ooh. I don't know what to say.
It's an interesting texture.
It is.
It's a little bit softer than cantaloupe.
Yes.
But
there's no crunch whatsoever.
No crunch. It's a lot denser than watermelon.
Oh, much.
It does have a little bit of an apricot.
Oh, that's a good,
flavor. And I am getting a little bit of maybe nutmeg.
Yeah. I get that too. It almost feels like it shouldn't be cold.
Oh.
Is that weird? Because of the texture, it reminds me of eating like a baked sweet potato.
Oh, definitely.
Or like pumpkin.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's a beautiful orange color.
Yeah. All right, I'm going in again.
I like it.
I like it too.
And these fruits are big. You can get a lot out of one fruit. I mean, it's not as big as a watermelon, but it's large.
Yeah. All right, you want to try the roasted one?
Then we also roasted it. I found this recipe from our local grocery store, And the recipe was really easy. We took half of our Mamey Sapote. We rubbed olive oil on the pink side. We added a little salt and pepper, and we wrapped it in foil. And then we just put it on a cookie sheet and roasted it at 400 degrees Fahrenheit for about 15 minutes.
Yeah.
So we're going to try it roasted. It's a little sweeter roasted, I think.
It's a little bit sweeter roasted. I do feel like maybe it needs a little bit more flavor.
Yeah. I bet if we added a little bit of fresh herbs.
Oh, that would be good. That would be really good.
Maybe chives or herbs de Provence or something like that. But it's good. It does also has a similar texture to something like a baked sweet potato or...
Yeah, the texture didn't change
Not
much.
Mm-mm.
That's surprising.
Yeah, really. Very surprising. I don't know, maybe a little butter on top.
Ooh.
That might be good.
I like butter.
Me too. I like butter on everything. Yeah. And really no smell. I mean, it smelled like it was cooked. Mm-hmm. It's good.
It's really good. Awesome.
I would definitely eat both of those again. I would eat it fresh and I would eat it roasted again.
I would as well.
Okay. That's it for our discussion of this fruit, Mamey Sapote. We hope you enjoyed this episode. I really want to try some of those dishes we mentioned, especially now that we've eaten it.
Oh, yeah.
I really want to try those pix tamales.
That sounds delicious.
Or the enchiladas. I think those would be really good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Me too.
Yeah.
We might need to take this podcast on a road trip.
Yeah, that
to
drink
Mexico.
of the gods would be delicious. I'm definitely up for a road trip. Thanks so much for listening. We're going to take a few weeks off to rest and recharge our batteries, but we'll return in 3 weeks with a new pod episode. Be sure to subscribe so you'll know when the new episode drops. See you then.
Class dismissed.
We hope you enjoyed this episode. You can find the show notes and a list of sources on our website, yournutritionprofs.com.
Your homework is to follow us at Your Nutrition Profs on Instagram and to listen to our next episode. You can listen on Amazon Prime, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or anywhere podcasts are found. We'd appreciate it if you'd like us, write a review, subscribe, and invite your family and friends to join us too.
If you have a nutrition or health question you'd like answered, let us know. We may do a show about it. Send an email to yournutritionprofs@gmail.com or click on the Contact Us page on our website.
Thanks to Brian Pittman for creating our artwork. You can find him on Instagram at BrianPittman77. See you next time.